He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, here we are again, another day committed to being your consumer advocate, helping you understand your buying decisions and making you more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We got Ray Hall Appraisals going to be on the second half of the program today. We're going to talk about valuations, residential, commercial, and vacant land, how to get a proper valuation on that real estate trends as well as housing starts and other information. We got Michael Emdy as well, CEO, Massive IT. He's our tech expert, all things technology related. He's got a local business here in Tampa Bay. Support the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show in all of our 80 different categories, 50-plus show partners, 727-263-3707. Now, that's a number you're going to want to save in your phone. Go ahead and type this number in, 727-263-3707. That's the Consumer Quarterback Show hotline. You can call or text. Go ahead and save it in your phone and give us a call if you need attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors, self-defense experts, Florida Firearms Academy. So many different ways. We've got private pilots, yachting, boating experts, and more. Of course, real estate experts. So consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors. We're going to talk about IT today, technical, open letter calls for pause on AI development. That's artificial intelligence. Chat GPT still dominating the headlines as well. We're going to have that discussion with Michael Emdy with Massive IT, local tech company here in Tampa Bay. And before we do, we always like to feature our real estate listings live on air, and it's part of our strategy to help our sellers sell faster, profit more, and pocket more money when they're selling their properties. So if you're buying, selling, or investing, reach out to the Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. 1641 El Terre Trail. This is a Clearwater property, Pinellas County, completely renovated home. That is a beautiful property. Great opportunity here at 2555 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, completely updated and recently renovated. New quartz countertops. You got an open floor plan, vaulted ceilings, screen lanai with a built-in hot tub, as well as a large, fully fenced backyard. Beautiful property right here in Tampa Bay, 1641 El Terre Trail, Clearwater, Florida. One of our hot real estate listings from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. 14 Baywood Drive, Palm Harbor. This is a gorgeous home. I love this property. One of my favorites right now. You got access to the Gulf of Mexico as well. This property has, at the end of the street, you've got your own community boat ramp and boat docks. 14 Baywood Drive, Palm Harbor, 2,913 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3 bath. Completely remodeled 3-story home, wood-burning fireplace in the living room, vaulted ceilings, pool and screened-in back porch, waterfront community. 14 Baywood Drive, Palm Harbor, Florida. Beautiful Pinellas County. You can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Yeah, I'm racing my class to those saving our ass overseas.
All right, quick shout out to Innovative Solar, by the way. If you're thinking about adding solar to your residential, commercial property, innovativesolarfl.com. Reach out to Innovative Solar and her team over there at innovativesolarfl.com. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on those special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, Michael Emdy, welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
Good to have you in. Very topical, very timing right now. Timing is on point because of these different tech issues, things happening out there, business owners, homeowners, young and old. I mean, everybody can benefit from your business. What are you seeing out there?
Seeing a lot of automation and improvement of what's going on with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Kids are using it, hackers are using it, criminals are using it. There's a lot of good things that you can do with it, but there's still a lot of things you really got to watch out for and be familiar with.
Yeah, absolutely. Last week we had this open letter. So it's a group of high-profile signatories, including Tesla CEO Elon Musk, Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak, are asking companies to pump the brakes on giant AI experiments until there's confidence that any risk are manageable and the effects are largely positive. A letter published by the nonprofit Future of Life Institute states that on large-scale AI projects, quote, can pose profound risk to society and humanity if not properly managed. So what do you think about that?
Well, I think that's exactly where it is right now.
Yeah.
Is we have to be aware of every day emails, text messages, phone calls. All of these things are using this automation to get grammatically correct, spelled correct messages and communications to us, and we have to be aware that it's not what it used to be, and
Yeah.
it's getting harder and harder to recognize, and it's making us more and more vulnerable to these types of attacks and compromises. Whether they're just going to say click this link, or hey, you owe us because you have a past due balance on your Tico bill,
Right.
whatever that might be. They're getting really good at it, and you really have to recognize it.
Yeah, exactly. And they do that same thing in real estate deals. And the closing, on the closing side of the transaction, they'll have, and like you said, they'll take the logo from someone's email or they'll rip it down online. And then so it'll look very legit. It'll say, hey, I know you got these wiring instructions earlier, but wire your money here instead of there. And once they hit send on that wire, within reason, it's gone.
It's gone.
And it's tough, and of course, the FBI doesn't want to deal with it unless it's upwards of, I think, over 100,000 or a million or something like that. It's a crazy number. What's your advice then? How can people, don't click links you don't know? I mean, what kind of advice do you have in that space?
Well, the standard advice still stands. Don't click the links you don't recognize. Don't take calls from numbers you don't recognize. And if you have a past due balance, if you have something that's urgent, then hang up the phone. Close the email, and pick up the phone and call the number
Mm-hmm.
Go to the website and do things that make sense, right? Critical thinking. You had some previous guests that mentioned some of the same things about critical thinking, right? Don't just take the word for it. We're so complacent now with social media, digital technologies that text message comes in. Oh, must be legitimate.
Right.
Who would know my number?
Yeah, exactly.
Guess what? The attackers have a marketing database that has your first name, your last name, your phone number, your email address, your address, your zip code.
Yeah.
And they're targeting you based on that data, just like marketers do.
Right. Yeah, exactly. If you just joined us, we're talking with Michael Emdy. He's the CEO of Massive IT. And Michael, that's a great point because, we get it from text messages. There's, of course, email links, Facebook messengers. They can easily clone another, someone. I remember I was talking to a family member one time, and she said, oh, no, it's my friend. I see her profile here. I said, no, it's not your friend. Don't click that link. But it's tough for those folks that are, maybe 60 plus or whatever.
Yeah, you're so used to just trusting messaging, trusting contact and communication that when it comes in, you think it's legitimate. And who would want to do anything else, right?
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of effort. Actually, it's not a whole lot of effort anymore.
Exactly.
All of these tools and technologies and automations for the attackers have made it super simple. They hit hundreds, thousands, in minutes, and they just wait to see who clicks.
Yeah.
Right? It just takes one for them to more than pay for their efforts over
Yeah.
the last, hour to make a lot of money for them.
Right. And what's the end game with these guys? Once you click the link, what happens? Is that where they take over your computer? They're trying to get you to a point where they'll give up your payment information. What's typically the...
Yeah, the end game is that, number one, they're going to harvest everything they can from you, right? And by the time that they get to contacting you or wanting money from you, they're at the end because they've already gained all of your contacts, all of your passwords, all of the information that you might have had stored on your computer if they've compromised it. And now, if they're contacting you and saying, we have everything and we want money for you to get it back, well, they've already taken it all. It's at the end of the game for them, and they're just looking to get the final payout.
Right.
And then they take whatever they've taken from you, contacts, information, passwords, and they're compromising others with it or leveraging others and using that to further their game and further, their fortunes.
Right. And they're taking those passwords because a lot of people have the same passwords for multiple sites, and they're just going to random sites, testing it to see maybe I can access their banking or, whatever type of account they want to try to get into.
That's exactly right. A password manager is something everyone should be using. And these are tools that are foreign to us, previously. Younger generations are growing up with these tools and learning about these concepts and security and kind of, self-taught knowledge just because they've been doing it from the day they could walk with with a cell phone in their hand, a mobile device. But for the rest of us, password managers, Well, I write it down in a notebook. Well, guess what? When that notebook gets lost or left behind, somebody's picking that up and doing something with it. They're not putting it in lost and found anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? They're using that to gain access and sell it. They sell this stuff. In the travel industry, they're stealing laptops, computers, luggage, suitcases, and selling whatever contents they can get on eBay.
I had that happen to me when I went to, I think it was Jamaica or something. I just put my bag underneath and I had my backpack on there, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to leave my phone right in the thing. I'm not going to deal with it. Got to the room, I'm like, wait, I'm unpacking. Where's the phone? Of course, they stole the phone right off the top. Yeah. And then by the time you get to the room, you're like, wait, who loaded this thing? It ended up being just a loss for me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, frustrating.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
You mentioned something about closing documents, right? For
real estate transactions.
Real estate. Title fraud is a huge problem.
Yes,
right now.
It is.
And digitally, they're able to pull a lot of documents publicly. You might notice when you have a vendor or you have someone who's sending you an invoice, they include on there their bank account numbers, routing numbers, account numbers, and this is how you can pay us and things like that. Well, a lot of companies don't have controls on their bank accounts to prevent drafts out of those. It's just a bank account.
Wow.
And so you could theoretically go back and do an ACH payment against that account and pull the money out.
Wow.
So there's a lot of things like that we've taken for granted.
Yeah.
That we don't think about and don't see, but the attackers are now, it's a trend. It's the hot thing to do.
Yeah.
We're looking for a way to exploit the system, and they're finding it left and right because we had so much inherent trust.
Right, especially with this evolving technology, the speed of change. I've heard it said by, I think it was like Brian Tracy. He said, the speed of change is just multiple, multiples of what it used to be, and there's, you got deep fakes now with these videos where they can create these videos where it looks almost like that actual person saying it. I do, 2,000 videos on YouTube now. They could probably make a interesting deep fake on my voice or my show here, right?
100%. ChatGPT is now doing images, content, videos. The attackers are posting these videos, and the advantage it gives them is they can localize it.
Yeah.
Right? In your language, in your tone of voice, they can duplicate you. They can just manipulate it in a way that makes it very convincing.
Yeah.
And then they can just put a link in the bottom, say, for more information, click on the link in the description.
Right.
We've all seen these YouTube videos and how that goes. Smash this button, do this, do that. And next thing you know, you're like, oh, this is legitimate. I want to know more about it. They gave great information. Well, yeah, they gave great information because ChatGPT provided it.
Yeah. Man, there's a lot of things to look out for. I want to talk about the insurance side of this because if you're a business owner out there, you should have some type of policy, some types of riders. We're going to talk about Michael, Emdy, Massive IT, and some of the solutions we have for these different threats as well on the flip side of this. Also, VPN is another idea I wanted to talk to you about. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. Michael, Emdy, Massive IT here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to talk about the insurance side of these different hackers and attacks that we're seeing technology-wise on our businesses, on our personal, on our cell phones. It's coming from all angles. So we're going to take a quick break, come back more with Michael, Emdy. Coming up later, Ray Hall Appraisals. We're going to dive deep into the real estate market, both locally and nationally with Ray Hall Appraisals coming up as well. Consumer QB Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. We're powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. 4404 Orient Road is one of our commercial properties that we've got listed. This is a $1.3 million asset, beautiful property right here in South Tampa, 6,000 plus square feet. You got an office building for sale just down the road from the casino. All 5 units are currently leased out, so it'd be a great investment opportunity as well for an investor. Recently updated interior, and the owner is motivated on this. 4404 Orient Road in Tampa. That's Hillsborough County, one of our commercial properties. We got a property at 0 Southwind Drive as well in Hudson. This is vacant land. We got land available on Southwind Drive in Hudson. Your backyard is the Gulf of Mexico. How's that? That's pretty cool, right? You've got a conservation and then the Gulf of Mexico there. So it's a great opportunity to own a beautiful lot, build your dream home. You're going to be surrounded by $700,000, $800,000 homes up to $1 million in the Southwind Drive. It's the Sea Pines neighborhood, 0.16 acre lot. build your dream home. At the end of the street, you also have access to build a boat dock and have bay access there. So you've got your own spot where you can put a seawall space and you can build a boat dock. Southwind Drive, Hudson, one of our hot listings, just reduced as well down to $199. Great opportunity. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
This is God's country.
All right, we got Michael MD in the house. This is Massive IT, a great example of one of our local area business owners and supporting the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show. It's one of our goals that we did 10 years ago. We wanted to say, hey, look, we want to have a presence here in Tampa Bay, and we want to bring on all types of great, expert contributors. These are folks that come in, talk about their industry, talk about those consumer tips, things to look out for, what to do, what to avoid. And Michael just had some really great tips. Now, I wanted to roll right into the insurance side of that. If I'm a business owner, Michael, or even just personal, talk to me about some of the insurance considerations I should have when it comes to these topics.
Well, that used to be as easy as just ask for cybersecurity insurance, coverage, and the insurance companies would just tack it on, no problem. Here's a rider for cyber insurance. Since all of these compromises and payouts, they've changed their mind about that. And now they're coming at you with a questionnaire. And there's a lot of check boxes and a lot of drop downs if they're online. It's about, do you have password management? Do you use multi-factor authentication? Do you have a security event and incident management platform? What are you doing to review the logs? Do you have an incident response plan? Do you have all of these things in place, these policies and procedures? And I would say, based on industry numbers, about 50% of mid-market to enterprise companies don't have these things in place.
Wow.
And that's companies that are even as large as 250 to 2,000 employees.
Wow.
They just don't have these things in place. They may have some of them, but they won't have all of them. There's a small percentage that really check all the boxes and can do that. And that's what the insurance company is hoping for, because if you answer yes to any of those and then you have a problem and they do their investigation
Bingo.
and they find that you don't have it,
Right.
claim denied.
Claim denied, because you said, yes, we have this. You said, who's going to read this anyways? I'm just going to sign it. I'm busy. Or maybe you electronically sign it. You didn't really read everything. But can you make that point again? If they ask if you have two-factor authentication, incident response plans, all these different things that they're going to ask you, you check the box yes, and the fact is of the matter is later no, you paid all that insurance premium for nothing.
That's right. That's exactly right. So you have to make sure that you have these things in place and you have a plan for those. And that's one thing that Massive IT does, is definitely comes in and helps you put those things in place, answer those questions. And even if you don't have it today, we can check the box yes, but get it in place by the time that insurance rider goes into effect.
Yeah.
Right. So you have a short window to kind of shore things up and have confidence that you can have those protections and take advantage of the insurance if you ever have that issue. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when you're going to have some sort of problem.
Yeah.
And by putting all those things in place, the insurance company knows that you're reducing the likelihood, right? The actuarials are going to say much lower probability that you're going to have a breach or have a problem or, in their terms, have a claim to protect yourself and protect them. So it's mutually beneficial. You're not going to have the problem and the headache of having to deal with it, and the insurance company is not going to have a claim that they're going to have to pay out.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking with Michael MD, Massive IT. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. And on the real estate side, technology is so important for any business. And with the real estate side, we just joined Keller Williams, Gary Keller's personal expansion brand called Livian. Livian Coastal Elite is our new brand. But one of the changes that we saw, and it has a lot of technology, coaching involved, lots of different follow-up program like Follow-Up Boss and all these different programs, but it's important to make sure your technology's talking to each other. There's a program called Canary and these different things. So kind of like if you've ever done a real estate deal or mortgage somewhere where you get updates from the mortgage person, hey, the appraisal was ordered, the inspection just came back, it's all automated for you. Can you talk about that, how you help businesses kind of streamline their processes?
Absolutely. So you just hit the nail on the head. All of these technologies piling on top of each other, side by side, sometimes working together, sometimes separate workflows, separate processes, separate things that are happening just to get one deal done, just to get one customer served. We help integrate all of those applications together. Single sign-on, so you don't have 10 different usernames and passwords you have to manage and reset, and which one was it? I don't remember. and then making your password the same for all of them.
Yep.
Now you're asking for trouble,
Yeah.
right, from a security perspective. So we help you integrate these things, single sign-on, less usernames, less passwords, more security, more automation, and make it easier for you to get a deal done, get a customer served.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. It's important. VPNs. Talk to me about VPNs. Virtual private network. Is that what the VPN? And I remember I put it on my iPhone, and I was having issues with the iPhone. And of course, you go down to the the tech folks there at the AT&T spot. Oh, well, this is because you got a VPN. That's why it's not working. That's why your texts aren't sending or whatever it was. So there's blame this person, blame back to this person, right?
That's
Are
right.
VPNs a viable option for people?
VPNs are changed since what they were 10, 20 years ago. 10, 20 years ago, you had a server in your office, and the only way to get there securely was to have a VPN to connect you securely. Nowadays, with all of the technology and the applications and the programs and systems in the cloud, all of that encryption is done at the browser level, and so you don't have to worry about that from your PC to those systems. Now, the older systems, the older applications, maybe they don't have encryption, and that's where a VPN would come in. But really, the VPN requirement or interest has really morphed into how do I secure access and close off access for my employees. I want them to go to Office 365. I want them to go to Salesforce. I want them to go to the applications we use for our business. You mentioned Canary and some of these other things, right? Follow Up Boss.
Yep.
So I don't want you going to websites, or getting emails to click a link to go somewhere. And these VPNs can help keep guardrails
Right.
on where you're going and what you're doing, so that it keeps you out of trouble, it keeps the business safe, and keeps everybody on target.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, hey, a lot of ground covered today. That's really good topics. I want to give you the final minute or so. How do you want folks to connect with you? You can serve business owners, folks, homeowners via computer. You can remote in and access their computers and help them set up some of these safeguards. Back to you, Michael.
Yeah, so we can take everybody from 0 to 100, and we do things like internet connectivity, networking, firewalls, routers, Wi-Fi, laptop, desktop, server, telephone systems, email, security, everything that you need to operate a business from start to finish, technology-wise. We like to say we can do everything but operate your business for you.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We can give you all the tools. We can give you all the infrastructure. We can give you everything you need. We also do cost analysis, so we can look at your current cost and your current spend. We build a 5-year budget and plug that in, and then we can make adjustments to it.
Nice.
And we can show you where the cost savings are going to happen with
Yeah.
real information.
That's right. Yeah, work it backwards and then set the goals and
That's right.
set the budgets. Michael, MD, Massive IT. Thank you so much. Appreciate those nuggets of advice.
Thank you.
Good stuff there. Coming up, Ray Hall Appraisals, plus our feel-good story of the day. Fisherman finds photos on stranger's lost camera after it sat 13 years in the water. Feel-good story coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check us out online at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram, Twitter. Of course, Brandon Rhymes QB, Consumer QB Show, CQB Show on Instagram. We'll be right back. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
Together